Welcome to this episode of Comics Bazaar, which will focus on X-Men number 5, cover dated February 1992. And first thing to note is this stunning cover, the best in the 11 issues by Jim Lee, featuring Wolverine in a ferocious physical battle against this new villain who made his first appearance in the previous issue, Omega Red. And you can see there in the way that Lee has drawn Wolverine and his battle injuries that we can see there in his forearm the housing cases for the adamantium claws that are so deadly. So this comic, something else to note about it is the cover price $1.25. So that's up from 1991's prices of $1. So the rising costs of comics production kicking in there in 1992. So this particular issue, entitled Blowback, is created by Jim Lee, who's plotting and penciling the issue. John Byrne is scripting it. It's also John Byrne's final scripting of X-Men, because the story goes he was frustrated by the lateness at which Lee and Whilce Portacio on Uncanny X-Men were getting pages to him to add dialogue and exposition to, and the pages were coming out of order as well. So in frustration he quit. And we can see the signs that this was a rushed issue. We have a team of inkers there going beyond Jim Lee's regular inker, Scott Williams. We've also got Art Thiebaert, Bob Wiacek, Joe Rubenstein, and we've got even two letterers working on the issue, Tom Orzechowski and Lois Bohalis, and regular colorist Joe Rosas returning for this issue. So the story opens with the X-Men alerted to the ambush on Wolverine, Rogue, Beast and Jubilee in the previous issue, and they board the Blackbird stealth jet in order to chase down the last known position of the X-Men, the other X-Men. So then the scene switches to those X-Men, Gambit as well. They're captured by these members of the Hand, and Gambit uses his kinetic powers to charge up a playing card and bust them out of the back of the ambulance. So what happens then is there is a fight, and then the Blackbird arrives, and Cyclops and Colossus in this anchor image emerge and attack the drivers of the other ambulance. But one of the Hand sets off a suicide device, blows up the ambulance. Colossus survives and emerges with Wolverine's mask, so there's no trace of Wolverine. Then the scene switches to Wolverine in battle in the snow there against Omega Red, and it's revealed that this is taking place in Berlin. And very interesting here is the appearance of this particular character, which is a link back to 1991's Weapon X by Barry Windsor Smith. So this particular series, which ran in Marvel Comics Presents numbers 72 to 84, revealed the origin story of Wolverine's adamantium skeleton and his time in a secret Black Ops government program, Weapon X. And here is that character, the Dr. Cornelius. This is Hines, this is the professor whose name we don't learn, and here's Wolverine being worked on as part of the program. So Jim Lee, plotting this story, was obviously impressed by Windsor Smith's stunning work on Weapon X, and decided to draw on that new backstory for Wolverine and add to it in this particular issue. So Wolverine is bested by Omega Red, and he, in his unconscious state, remembers a time when he was in Berlin, and looking at a picture there of Arcady, that's Omega Red's original human identity when he was properly alive. And this character here is later on revealed to be Victor Creed, otherwise known as Sabretooth. And then our scene switches back again to Berlin in the present day. There's Dr. Cornelius and Matsuo Tsurayaba. And here is this, in silhouette, this mysterious figure, Maverick, who's a new character and who, it's revealed, was part of this team that Logan and Creed were part of in the 60s. Okay, and then we have this double page, a vertical double page spread. Hopefully you can see all of that on screen. Wolverine is hooked up to these machines, and we are learning once again about the aim of Fenris, the Strucker twins. Here we are, Andrea and Andreas, and their intent on finding out from Wolverine, from his memories, where is this MacGuffin, the carbonadium synthesizer, which will grant them immortality and allow them to create a new Reich, as Andreas says. And we have this superb two-page spread by Jim Lee of the X-Men, Professor X there. They're debating and discussing what they're going to do in order to track down and rescue Wolverine. We've got the two different teams there, the blue and gold teams together. And here we can see at this point the shift from Scott Williams being the inker to someone else. I'm not quite sure who the inker of this page is or that page, but I have a feeling that this page is maybe by Joseph Rubinstein. Looks a bit like his style to me. This could be Bob Wyacek. And back in Berlin, Omega Red is mocking Wolverine, who is recovering from his injuries. And here again in silhouette we have this new figure, Maverick, who's going to turn out the lights and allow Wolverine to escape. So Wolverine makes for an exit. Omega Red gives chase, and as he's running through the complex, he has a flashback to the 1960s and that team that he was part of. There we have Wolverine as part of the team, Creed and Maverick. So then we flash back to the present again. So we're having this intercutting of the past and the present, and Wolverine jumps out the window, and Omega Red sees that there's no body. But Matsuo Tsurayaba promises that they'll recapture Wolverine. And so who has rescued Wolverine? Maverick, right? And Wolverine doesn't recognize him at this point because he's half out of it from his injuries. And then the X-Men arrive at the building as well in order to rescue Wolverine. Maverick isn't terribly concerned about them, but Wolverine is knocked out at this point. So is he dead? What's happening? We'll have to find out in the next issue. Whoops. And then there's an epilogue here, one-page epilogue, which features Lila Cheney and Alison Blair, aka Dazzler, who hasn't been seen in the X-Men comics for quite some time. And into the scene crashes Longshot, also another X-Men character who hasn't been seen in some time. And Longshot is a former romantic partner of Dazzler, and is hoping that he can jog her memories. Back a couple of years earlier in the X-Men comics, the X-Men had been based in Australia, and in order to escape an attack by the Reavers, they went through something called the Siege Perilous, which dropped them into different parts of the world with their memories wiped of their time in the X-Men, giving them a chance for a fresh start. So Alison Blair, Dazzler, doesn't have any memories of her former time as Dazzler. Then arrives Spiral, and she's an agent of Mojo who features there in the final panel. And this is all prologue for a storyline that is going to feature in the last couple of issues, 10 and 11 of Jim Lee's run on the X-Men. So we'll get to that in due course. So there you go, that is X-Men number 5. There's the letters page. It is, as I said, notable for the first appearance of this new character Maverick, for delving into further aspects of Wolverine's origins and backstory and history, drawing on material produced by Barry Windsor Smith in the seminal Weapon X series. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you again in another video, so stay tuned for that.